I've started a brand new podcast. That's right, this is the show where I'm going to be talking to your favorite creators, getting to know what it's like behind the scenes, and getting to know them even better. Some of you might remember that I actually started this a year ago, back in 2023, but I haven't made an episode in like 6 months, so I thought, why not do an unofficial season 2, start it fresh. We got a lot of cool things planned ahead of us, guys. This is just episode 1. We're here every Friday, 3 PM BST. But hey, we've got a very cool guest lined up for today's episode, so why not grab your fish and chips, chillax, because this is the Notme Hour. This is episode 1.
Episode 1? No.
Well, no, episode 1 of season 2. Season 2, 100%, 100%.
Of course.
Yeah, the season 2. But hey, Kosii, welcome to the podcast.
Hello, it's great to be here. I'm very much glad to be back.
How are you?
I'm great, actually. I've got a cup of tea right here. You know, I'm chilling in the new Notme studio. I'm very excited.
Oh,
yeah, very excited.
That sounds absolutely lovely. Yeah, talking about the new studio, what do you think of it? Sheesh. We got, we've got a window, so, you know, that's an upgrade. So.
I can't believe it. Although I do like how you've set it tonight so that you don't actually have any vitamin D, you know, you don't get any sun in here.
We don't, well, vitamin D, what the freak's that, bro? We're YouTubers, come on. We stay inside all the time.
It really matches the Theme Park Tycoon 2 aesthetic. I like it, you know, the lack of sun is great.
Bro, have you ever joined into a private server? Just not private server, like a public server. Every time I join one, it's nighttime. I don't know if that's just me. Do you get that?
I don't understand how people like record. Well, this is gonna sound super out of touch. Get ready for Kosii out of touch moment right here. How do people live without private servers?
I know, I agree. I actually agree with you on that one, which is, you know, rare.
It's just like they're so useless. Like, I don't understand how people just it's painful. Dennis is actually scamming a living, charging people 100 Robux for that. It's disgraceful.
He is. I can't. Private servers are just so good. You can be fast. You can have light.
Yeah,
it's absolutely amazing. But anyway, we're not here to talk about public servers versus private servers. No. We're here to talk about you, Kosii. You. First of all, for anyone who doesn't know you, could you explain to us? Could you describe to us who you are?
Okay, so I think last time actually I was here, I did a pretty good job of explaining it.
Last time? No, Kosii, there was no last time. This is the first episode, Kosii. I don't. Okay, Kosii, this is the first episode. This is the first episode. This is no last time. It didn't happen. It was just you were in a coma. You were dreaming. It
was a dream. Okay. So, okay, not last time.
Not last time.
This is the first time I'm ever going to say this. Okay, I am ladies' man of Sheffield, you know.
Oh, great, not this again. No, I should have just said, yeah, that was the last time. Jeez.
But basically what I am is I'm a Theme Park Tycoon 2 YouTuber, creator. I do a bunch of stuff other than Theme Park Tycoon 2. I also make games with Luna Games. I have my own game studio, Handsip Studios now. I do a lot of video editing for a bunch of YouTubers and just basically anything that is creative, anything that you can do that, you know, really allows you to be creative, I've probably done at some point. Like I've even made websites and that sort of stuff. I've pretty much done everything I think there is to do in Theme Park Tycoon 2 at this point.
Really cool. Also, you're talking about you know, Theme Park Tycoon 2 right there. You said you did everything. That just reminded me that your most recent video at the time of recording is you trying to get the longest coaster inside of Theme Park Tycoon 2. Which, I will say, you did. You did do it. You did do it. 7 hours long.
That video took so long to record. Oh no.
But literally today, like in that video, you got also the most amount of guests in a queue.
I did.
Yeah. Not anymore.
I think so, at least.
Not anymore.
Oh. He's beating me. No!
Get freaking freaked.
Oh no!
I got more. I beat Time and I beat Kosii. If I can't beat you in subscribers, bro, I'll beat you in this.
No, that's the next thing. Next time I'm going to be on here, you're going to be like, well, today, you had more subscribers, I beat you.
Yes, I will.
Is this part of the tactic? Is that you're getting your arch enemy #1 on to try and beat me in subscribers? Is this how it's going to work now?
Yeah. If I can't beat him, might as well join them.
I've fallen for it, guys. I've fallen straight into his trap. Oh god. No, but I mean, yeah, I genuinely didn't even mean to beat that record, which I think is the funniest part. Is that like I wasn't even thinking about it. It wasn't even like, oh, you know what? It'd be funny if like I did this video where I you know, build the longest coaster, but then I also just happened to get guests at the end, the most guests. But it was weird because I literally logged on. Well, I didn't even log on. I went to sleep. I actually tried recording the video twice on my laptop because it just didn't work because I had to sit there for 7 hours making sure that I didn't, you know, disconnect sort of thing. But
okay, yeah.
I literally like woke up the next morning and was like, oh my god, I've got so many guests. What? Wait, is this actually a record? And then I just literally looked at Timon's video hurriedly like, oh wait, have I beat it? Have I beat Timon? Yes, I beat Timon.
Wait, real quick, how many did that? Do you remember how many Timon actually had? I just want to make sure that I actually beat him as well.
It was less than me by like 10 or 20, like something like 230 or something like that, I think.
Oh, that's close. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. How many did you get?
I think, I don't know, because I counted, so what I did is, because I couldn't be able to count 200 guests, I had a money farm right next to me, so I was just like, right, I have like, the amount of guests in my top right, I have the guest in my money farm, and I have the guest in the queue, so I'll just count the guests in my money farm, and I'll subtract it by the amount of guests I have in my park. It never really seemed to add up. I'm not great at the maths. But I think I had, at the end, either 247 or 244.
Jeez. Yeah, that is a lot, actually. That is a lot of guests.
Maybe. You know. It's me we're talking about. So let's...
got 10 guests.
Imagine.
Yeah.
But no, sorry. Oh, just derailed us so bad there. But something that I do want to ask you, which I don't think I've ever actually asked you, is how did you get the name Kosii? Kosii.
Oh, you know what? This is actually a really good question. I'm glad that you brought it up because the amount of times that I've been asked this, like, during my career on YouTube, like, I feel like I've said this a billion times, so I'm gonna set the record clean now. And if you ever, if anyone asks me again, if anyone dares ask me, if anyone says, "Go, Kosii, where did your name come from?" I'll kill you. Okay, I'll do it. Okay, so.
I think I just peed myself. What the freak? Bro just went evil villain.
That is a threat guy. Yeah, I'm on my villain arc recently.
Villain arc.
No. But basically, I used to be called. I can't really say it on here. You're gonna have to bleep this out in recording. So
of course.
Remember to bleep this. My old name on YouTube was What Is. You know, actually, let's just say it was What Is Freaking Happening. But
What is freaking happening?
Censored,
okay.
It was the censored F word with like the stars in it, basically.
Okay.
Because the whole idea of my channel originally was that I was going to be making videos where I just basically push games to their limits, you know, find out what I can do. Kind of similar to like Let's Game It Out. Very similar sort of thing to that. And I did actually make a bunch of videos like that. Even some on Theme Park Tycoon 2, on Planet Coaster and stuff like that. Which I actually don't even know if they're still public. But basically, the way that I got started with Theme Park Tycoon 2 is that I had a second channel, which is now Kosii 2. I started making Theme Park Tycoon 2 videos on there. It's kind of like a secondary thing. And then my main channel videos were like these big, you know, videos that I spent hours and hours and hours on, which ironically is just a normal video for me today. Back then I was like,
average Clearside Valley episode out every month.
Exactly. Like, I was like, wow, I spent 5 hours on this video. These days, that's literally half of a Clearside Valley video.
Oh my days.
Oh my. But I was making these videos on my second channel. I was like, Theme Park Time 2 was not good enough to be on my main channel, which is ridiculous to say today. But basically, eventually I realized, like, I was getting to the point where I was nearly ready to be monetized. Like, I nearly had enough subscribers and watch hours. And I was like, there's no way YouTube is going to, 1, monetize me, and 2, give me a good, like, RPM, which is how much money you get per 1,000 views sort of thing. If my name literally has a swear word in the channel's name.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah. So
I think that's a smart decision to change it.
Yeah, exactly. So I was like, what do I change it to? Because this was kind of my identity at the time, and that's what people knew me as, even in the Theme Park Tycoon community. Like, it's crazy now because it's been like 4 years or something nearly.
What, since you changed it?
Well, just since I like started making Theme Park Tycoon videos, then about 3.5 years, maybe 3 years since I changed it. And at the time, people knew me as this name, so I was like, what do I change it to? That's going to be kind of identifiable. And then I basically just worked it backwards almost. I kind of thought, because I didn't want to just have a name that was just like just you don't know sort of name. Like Timon is literally his name, the numbers after it. Maliboomer is named after the ride at Disney California, I think. Is that the I don't know.
I know it's named after a ride. Are you no good talking to me about rides? Let's be real.
yeah. But he's literally named after a ride, and then you just, a lot of people are named after that sort of stuff. So I thought, what am I going to do that's going to be original? I kind of worked it backwards, like, what is my channel representing? At the time, I was making very like very low-key, very chill, very quiet videos almost, that like only really worked for grown-ups. Yeah, well, not really even aesthetic, just like I refused to make videos for younger audiences, and I was like, you know, I'm gonna make videos for more mature audiences. So I was like, you know what, my videos kind of feel a bit cozy, as in like C-O-Z-Y. And then I just wrote down a list of other things, and basically went, okay, how can I spell these differently so that my name isn't just C-O-Z-Y, like the word cozy? That's basically where it came from, because C and K are similar, and then instead of Z-Y, I did obviously S-I-I, because C and Z are very similar, then you've got K and C are very similar. So it was literally just like, it's really complicated but also simple at the same time. Like it doesn't have some incredible meaning behind it, like, in 1942
so the law, the Kosii name law.
Yeah,
but it's better than just like, it's better than mine, because I don't even have one. Really, I don't even have a story behind my name, if I'm gonna be real.
To be fair, though, I didn't even really have a story behind my own name, either, with what is freaking happening. It was literally just, well, the idea behind that was literally just like, people would watch the video and be like, what is going on? What is happening?
That makes sense. That's a cool name. That's a good part from the, you know, the swear word.
The swear word, yeah. I think also since then, a major thing that has changed with me is I've grown up a lot. I used to just think like, yeah, I know, it's crazy, guys. 4 years I've changed. I know it's
no way.
Isn't it? But I used to just think that, like, haha, swear word.
Oh, right, yeah.
I'd just be like, yeah, it would be funny if I swear, right? Sort of thing. Whereas now, I think I still swear because it's my normal vocabulary. As someone who, like, I swear to my parents swear at me. But not in like a screw you, but like just as just talk casually. That's the way I've grown up. It's just in my vocabulary, but I don't use it as like, haha, funny, I said the F word, haha.
No, so right, I get that.
I find that era of my channel a lot more childish. Just be like, why would I even call my channel that? But, it obviously makes sense, you know. It makes sense why. And when you think about it, it's just.
I think you landed on a good name though, Kosii. Very iconic now, especially in the Theme Park Tycoon 2 community. Very well known. You've actually just hit 30,000 subscribers. Well, congrats. By the way, 30,000, insane milestone. Insane.
It is. It's just like, I actually don't really understand it. I don't understand how people who have like these massive subscriber counts do, because I literally was looking at my subscribers, and like at the start of the year, when I actually started making videos again after my break, obviously, I was literally on like less than 20k subscribers. It's unfathomable that in literally a year, I don't get how that works, that I've gained 10,000 subscribers, 10,000 individual people have subscribed. I'm very grateful for it. It's a crazy milestone. Obviously, you know, it's not 1 million, it's not 1 billion.
1 billion subscribers.
Guys, I don't have 1 billion subscribers yet, at least, you know, obviously, guys.
Come on.
But it's just like, it's just still a crazy number for me. I don't know. I'm very excited. I'm very excited about it, but
do you have anything like planned for maybe the next milestone or 30,000? Anything cooking?
I don't know. See, this is the thing. I used to, like, I at this point, I'm very grateful for subscribers, but I'm not really like, I don't really feel like it's something that's like, whoa, yeah, hit it. I don't really do anything for celebrating, whereas I used to literally celebrate every 1,000 subscribers, but I feel like, with YouTube, as it's become more of like a job for me, I'm more focused on just living in the moment and enjoying it, rather than being like, okay, I gained this much subscribers from this, I'm on this amount of subscribers, this is how many views I got. Like, I just actually balancing it and not worrying about subscribers. So I just don't really think about other than, oh yeah, I hit 30K. I don't think like, oh, I've got to do something for 30K. But I don't know, maybe I'll do something for 50K. But I don't know
Donating
what it
$1
is.
billion.
Yeah. Exactly. But like, if I was to even do anything, it'd be like a stream or maybe some Roblox merch. Or I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like the problem for me is with
Roblox
that
merch
is
is
that
cool.
exactly. But I feel like the problem is I just do a lot of like stupid, crazy things that are like
Yeah.
that could be a 50K subscriber, but I don't want to do it just for like a goal.
Oh no,
like,
I
just
get that. I
actually-
get that. I get that.
it's-
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to do it because of that, even though I still do weird, crazy stuff, I guess. I don't know.
You
No.
actually, I think you did like a subathon recently. Was that for hitting subscriber milestone? It
Well,
was like a month ago, wasn't it, or something? I can't remember exactly when.
yeah. So that wasn't for hitting a milestone, but the actual idea behind it, ironically, was to be like, oh, wow, I'm going to try and hit 30K on this stream. I didn't end up hitting it, which, so what? I kind of really enjoyed the stream.
It was really
and
fun.
I could have probably grinded and just played Theme Park Tycoon 2 for 7 days straight, and I would have probably hit it, but I really enjoyed it, compared to, like, we actually talked to the last one, even though it didn't exist. Don't worry about it, guys.
Oh, you didn't.
Shush.
It didn't exist. No season 1. No.
No. But we obviously talked about my last subathon and some of the ones I've done in the past. I feel like I enjoyed the last one a lot more because, like, literally one of the days, Jake drove down from Newcastle. We went round Sheffield for the day. I've never actually like vlogged in real life like that, especially with like a live stream. And as someone with a lot of social anxiety, like I have crippling social anxiety where I just used to not be able to like even really speak to people, like the cashier, that sort of stuff. I'd just like stand behind them like, hello.
Oh no, I get that as well. I get that.
But so someone like that, it was really difficult, but also really freeing, really fun. And I think I just really enjoyed that. I don't know. It was a really, really fun experience to just be out in Sheffield, stream, you know, even if when I was doing that, I'm pretty sure I had like 5-10 viewers. I don't care. I had a lovely day, and it was a really fun break sort of thing. But I don't know. Yeah, I really enjoyed it, but it wasn't really for any sort of subscriber goal. No, it wasn't really for that. It was just for.
That's really cool to hear, though. Yeah, it's something like live streaming in real life is really difficult because you always have the buffering. But it is something I've always wanted to do, and it's something that I think is really, really cool.
Yeah. It's just getting over that mental hurdle of like what, because I've always thought like, what are people thinking about me? Why are they
holding a camera out in the bubble and being like, yo, what's up, guys?
Exactly. But what I've actually found, which is really weird, is that I think when I go into like YouTuber mode, I suddenly lose all of that. I don't know why, because it's the same at like Nemesis's opening day in March. I was streaming then. And I was being very loud and like jumping around and being all like silly and you know. And like normally I'd be like, okay, this is horrible. I hate this. Like if my friend started doing that, I'd be like, okay, I'm curling up into a little ball now. This is horrible.
I'm just gonna leave you here. I'm gonna run away.
Exactly, yeah. But it's something about when you turn on the camera for me, I just suddenly have like a burst of energy, and I'm hyper focused on like just be entertaining. I don't really, I don't know why, it's weird.
I get that when I stream. I you just get this, well, like you said, burst of energy, and you just like try and be entertaining. It's I don't know what it is.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway,
great for someone with social anxiety, I would recommend.
No way, we're gonna have like thousands of vloggers now on the streets.
I've just made world peace, guys. You're welcome. You're welcome, guys.
No way.
Just become a vlogger, guys.
Just become a vlogger. Oh dear. I can't tell if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but become a vlogger.
Yeah, it's definitely not a good thing.
Anyway, like we mentioned earlier, you mainly do Theme Park Tycoon 2 content now. And first of all, what actually got you into Theme Park Tycoon 2? What got you into theme parks?
So it's actually like, it's a bit of a difficult one because although I don't know. Well, what I'd say, I've never really been into theme parks until literally I started YouTube, which is really like weird to say because normally people start doing YouTube because it's something they're passionate about. Like But I started doing YouTube because I'm passionate about doing creative stuff. Like I've always loved photography and art and doing stuff like that. And it was just a creative outlet for me. And when I started, like I said, I wasn't even doing Theme Park Tycoon 2 videos. I was also doing videos on other games, and I was doing the main channel stuff where it was just, you know, random games each video.
Yeah.
But I still had Planet Coaster, and I have been playing Theme Park Tycoon 2 pretty much since the start, since it actually released.
Oh,
I've just
yeah, I just saw you just Thanos snapped. Oh, we lost him. We lost him.
1 second, guys.
Audio listeners, Kosii just got kicked out of Theme Park Tycoon 2. Just got kicked out the game.
A little bit. Oh, let me join that, guys.
Oh, okay. Let's get him in here. Oh my, that's absolutely amazing. Just disappeared.
I forgot that I need to actually keep moving. Jesus.
Yeah, I think
it doesn't feel like it's been 20 minutes either.
No,
I
it
didn't even
doesn't.
realize it's been
It feels like it's been like 2 seconds.
Exactly, yeah. I think I've joined have I joined the wrong server? What is?
The links are in your Discord.
Yeah. I accidentally clicked, my like muscle memory kicked in. I just went, okay, join my private server. I don't know why, bro. My brain.
I'll teleport you over here. Jeez, this Kosii fella, you can never record with him. Oh.
Wow, where was I?
Think about Theme Park Tycoon 2, what the freaking was happening channel.
Oh yeah. Yeah, what is freaking happening channel, of course. So basically, yeah, what I was basically saying is that I didn't start out with Theme Park Tycoon 2, but I did play it since the very start, since like literally a couple weeks after it came out. And I actually found it through a YouTuber called Seniac. I don't know if that rings a bell for anyone.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. And I never really understood that there was a community, and I still don't think that's something that Dennis does a great job of today. Like, just unless you really look for it, you don't realize there is a community in Theme Park Tycoon 2. But eventually, I did find it.
No, I was like that as well.
Yeah, it's just like you don't know because Dennis doesn't really promote it. He doesn't help foster a community. But the way that I actually found out about the community, if I'm correct, is literally just through making videos. I did like some videos on like some stupid coasters, like one that was like a 50 looping coaster or some stupid thing like that. Exactly, and it was just like it just did really well. And then I started doing Disneyland in Theme Park Tycoon 2, which did incredibly well, as you can assume, because it's Disneyland. Of course it does. Like people just see Disneyland and go, "Oh my god, Disneyland!"
No way, Mickey Mouse. No way. Let me get a selfie.
Exactly. Yep. And that just did really well. And then I kind of just started talking to more and more people. There's actually some people who I started talking to in those days who were watching my videos, and I still am in contact with today, which is such a cool thing.
Oh, that's cool.
It makes me feel very old because like when I met them, I was like 14, 15. They were like 14 as well, and then now we're both like they can drive and I can drive, and what the hell's going on? Why is everything going so fast? But
no wonder why you're bored.
I'm not does it look at that? Look at that! All that hair there. I recently had a haircut like a week ago. And
what hair, mate? I don't see any hair.
No. I'm gonna watch this video back, and there's gonna be like a bold filter applied to me.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh my days.
But then from there, I literally met Nerdy Yoda girl. I think yeah, that was her name.
Oh yeah, that rings a bell. I recognize that name.
Yeah. She was like the biggest YouTuber in Theme Park Tycoon 2, other than like I'm a Fly Ninja and Semniac, who had already stopped. I started talking to her. I was in like some of her streams and stuff like that, and it basically just snowballed from there.
That was actually gonna answer one of my next questions. What yeah, amazing. What video? Like, was there a video that like really popped off and, like you said, snowballed? And you like noticed there was a shift in your YouTube channel from like gaining 0 subscribers a day to 10, 20, 30, however many. Was there a video?
Yeah. So I'd say the main thing was Disneyland, because before that I was making some videos that would do well, like, but it was very, very rare. Like I remember actually something that's crazy is that I spent like 24 hours on this Minecraft video, because I used to make Minecraft survival videos. Exactly, like that was some of my first like well, not my first videos, but it was some of my like first videos when I started taking YouTube a bit more seriously.
Yeah.
And I spent 24 hours recording this video. I was like, oh, this video's gonna do so well because I've put all this effort into it. I spent all this time editing it, and then it got like 10 views, and I was like, oh my god, bro, what the hell is
that's rough. That's rough.
Oh,
That
it was
feels-
painful, so painful.
That feels rough when that happens today. You spend like years on it, well, not years, but you know what I mean, like ages on a video today, and
Yeah.
you get your expectations up, and then it's a 10 out of 10 of 10. 10 of 10.
Exactly.
Grey arrows, down arrows, you know.
Yeah. But then the crazy thing is that if that happened today, it'd be like, oh no, this video only got like 2,000 views. No! It's just like it's just such a juxtapose to back then where I was like, oh, 10 views, that's so little. And then I'm like, oh, only 1,000 views.
If one of your videos got 10 views nowadays, then you're like, right, this is the, I've now fallen off again.
If I get a video with only 10 views, I'm quitting YouTube, guys. I'm leaving. I'm going. That point, I fell off to no return. There's no point. There's no coming back.
Oh.
But
No more Losi. How will we survive? I'm like, jeez.
everyone, the female anxiety community would implode, guys. I'm definitely sure everyone would really be sad, guys. Right? Please? Yep.
No.
From there, basically, then yeah, I did start making. I started the series, which was Disneyland, and I think that video, which just with like the context I've just given you of like my videos getting like 10 views.
Yeah.
I think that got like a couple thousand views in like the first week. And that was obviously like a bit of a wake-up call because I was like, well, why am I making these videos on Minecraft when I could make videos on Theme Park Tycoon 2, you know, sort of thing?
Yeah.
And they'll do way better. So at the start, it was really like, it was the thing that just was making the most views, like which is crazy because these days, a massive part of my personality, a massive part of who I am is theme parks. Like, I literally collect theme park stuff. Like, I've been to events, I've got things signed by like people in the theme park spaces, like John Wardley, you know, and John Burton. It's stuff like I go to these opening days, and none of that would have happened if that video didn't pop off because I didn't go to theme parks. I didn't know anything about roller coasters. I wasn't really that bothered about theme parks specifically.
Wow, okay.
And my entire life basically just changed from that one video. Like, I a lot of the friends that I know, a lot of the stuff that I do, a lot of my hobbies and stuff really center around the way I've learned to really enjoy theme parks.
That was a canon event, for real.
Exactly, bro. The Kosii canon event was crazy, guys.
That's crazy to think about.
Yeah, exactly. Like and then from there, I just started learning more about theme parks. And I think part of why I'm so bad with coasters and just don't care about them much is literally just because I didn't grow up being a theme park enthusiast. I'm more of just a creativity person, so I really love like the buildings and decorations and stuff. But I've never been like a huge like, oh, I love how coasters work and I want to learn everything about how to bank them and all. I just don't really care much about that sort of stuff, but I still love theme parks, if you know what I mean. It's just that.
I 100% get that. I'm probably the only. I would always think about of myself as the only person in this community who knows nothing about coasters. So I 100% get you. I literally don't. You mentioned there about that video doing well, so you learn about coasters. This is the complete opposite for me. The video did well, but I didn't actually be able to learn about coasters. Well, actually, I would probably try to, but I just can't. It doesn't make any sense to me. It doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't really make sense to me either. Like I know. Well, the thing is, after like 4 years of making videos and people telling me like you need to do this on Kosii, you need to do that, I've picked up a lot of stuff, but I don't know how to implement it. Like I know how to hotline, like I know that the concept of this should be like this should do this. I just can't build it. I don't know. I'm like I'm not really taking much interest in learning it. Like obviously if I put my mind to it, I could probably do it because you could do anything if you put your mind to it.
Nothing is impossible.
Nothing is impossible, guys. How inspirational.
Inspirational quote from Kosii. How rare.
That's probably the nicest thing I've ever said all year, guys.
No way. Put it on the wall right now.
You gotta take it, guys.
Put it on the fridge.
But it's literally just that I don't really want to put the energy. I don't care about it enough. Like, I just don't really. I'm not really that bothered about coasters. Like actually making them good. I like coasters in real life. I'm just not that bothered about making them.
It's about making your builds look really nice. I get that.
Yeah.
And talking about builds looking really nice, you have started a few months ago now. You started a the theme park Tycoon 2 building a park series. So I forgot the word there for a second. Building a park series, and it's called Clearside Valley, which, well, you can explain it if you want to, for anyone who doesn't know what Clearside Valley is.
So basically, Clearside Valley, it was a series that I started kind of halfway through the park. I already had built the entrance and stuff, and it started out as just a project of something that I'm really want to do off camera. I just want to enjoy and take my time on. And then eventually I thought, well, why not make this into a series? And it's basically just, it's a very hyper-specific thing. And like I just described, it wasn't really made for YouTube. It wasn't something that I manufactured being like, yeah, this will do well because it's got like this sort of thing, this sort of thing. It was just more of like a passion project of like, I like this sort of stuff, so I'm going to make it. But the best way to describe it is literally that it's a hyper-realistic, sort of centric UK theme park. I originally was like, oh, this is gonna be like a really low budget park, but I'm kind of just like enjoying it a bit and just doing whatever I like with it, and not worrying about that too much while still trying to make it realistic. Like I still want it to be feasible, but I don't want to say like, oh well, this wouldn't be decorated because there has no money. You know, I still want to make it look good, but it's still a very like realistic sort of British theme park. That I release like every, I don't know, like 4 months at this point.
Every day, no, yeah.
Yeah.
Once a year.
New episode yearly, guys. It's like, but the whole idea as well with like the videos is that I like a lot of YouTubers will just record for a couple of hours and then like edit that down, which is completely fine, and I kind of wish that I did do that. But something that I did want to try with Clearside Valley is actually just condensing so much into one video, because I've noticed that a lot of people drop off after like episode 10. They just don't want to pick it up because then they've got to watch 10 episodes to catch up with everything.
Right, I get that.
Yeah. So instead of like making the main street, for example, that could have been 4 separate videos. I could have done like 4 separate buildings and stuff like that. But I kind of want to condense as much and take like 10 hours worth of footage, turn it into a 17-minute long video, and then, you know, that's not like it's not as hard to catch up on if you want to actually get into the series. Which,
that is really cool though.
I mean, I don't know if it's worked.
Well, you don't know if it's worked. I mean, the first episode gathered like it's on like 60,000 views at the moment, which is in freaking insane. It's just insane.
I'm so happy with it, honestly, because I get in my head a lot with that sort of stuff. I'm sure this is something that every creator gets. Like we've just they kind of think like, oh, I'll put all this effort into this video. It's gonna feel so shit if this just flops and it doesn't do well. But so I really like built it up, and the video actually was supposed to be released like a week early, but then I started obsessing over it, being like, oh, make sure everything's perfect here, make sure everything's fine. And I think something that I definitely do a lot is get in my head with that sort of stuff. So I was so glad that it just did well, and didn't just completely flop, because I really do get in my head with that sort of stuff. Like I think, oh well, I need this video to be perfect, otherwise it's not going to do well. But what if I'm spending all this time making this perfect and then no one watches it? And then, like, you know, and that's obviously part of why I take so long sometimes to get a video out. Like, because I don't even, it's not even that the video takes too long. I could like make a video every single day if I really put my mind to it. But it's just that sometimes I don't feel like it, because I'm like, oh, I'm not really in like the best sort of mood right now. I don't really do my best job creatively. I want this video to do well, and you know, but part of like that is just perfectionism. Like I've always been like that, where everything has to be like exactly right, otherwise I hate myself. I'm like, oh, why did I get that right? Oh, it's definitely a double-edged sword. Like it sucks, but it's also really it means that I'm making good videos, but it also means that all those good videos take 9 trillion years. So
no way. Can't wait for Clearside Valley episode 3 in 2025. Come on now.
Exactly.
But no, I think I've got to say that I just love your videos. Your editing is absolutely amazing. The wait it was definitely worth it for sure, for real. For real.
I mean, yeah.
Can't believe I just said that unironically.
Yeah, for real.
For real.
On God, just like that.
Fire emoji.
But yeah, no, that's very kind of you, and I just like I I don't know. It's one of those things where I really don't need to, but I feel like it's not as fun for me on YouTube if I don't put all that effort into videos. Like as someone who doesn't like, I think if YouTube ceased to exist tomorrow, I'd still be doing some sort of something creative. So it's not even that I really want to be just a YouTuber, and I mean that's probably clear through the fact that like I've done so many different things other than YouTube, but I think part of that does help because I'm not just trying to make I'm not just trying to make YouTube videos. I'm also just trying to make videos that I enjoy, that I think are good, and that even if I spend like 10 times longer than I really should, even compared to other YouTubers, like if I spend so much extra time on something that's so small, then well, it doesn't really matter because I'm enjoying it. It's the videos I want to make.
That's the main thing,
and,
right? Yeah.
Exactly. And I think that's just why. That's the kind of the backstory to why my videos, I guess, turn out better is just because I have that mindset of like, oh, I don't really want to rush this. Like, I want this to be good. I want to actually just put my creativity into this and not make a YouTube video. Well, still make a YouTube video that'll perform well, but make a video that will also be good on the creative side and not just on the statistics.
I think that is
side,
a great mindset to have with YouTube because a lot of people will just get sucked into all the views, Mr. Beast it and whatnot. I think that is a really great way, a great mindset to have. But anyway, going back onto Clearside Valley for a second.
Yep. We got a little distracted.
Just going back onto it. Do you have the pressure because you like I mentioned I think I mentioned you make some really good builds on it. If I didn't mention it, well, I'm saying it now. You make some really good builds. Do you have the pressure, either from the audience or just built up in your head, to maintain that level of detail through just constantly?
Definitely, every day. That's like one of the worst things with YouTube is that as I was talking about before, when I was talking about my social anxiety, is that I constantly am thinking what other people think of me, and I get in my head a lot with that. And it sucks because as a YouTuber, your entire career, your entire life online is other people seeing your stuff, and it's impossible to really actually know what people are thinking unless they tell you. But even if they tell you a lot of the time, it's not what they're actually thinking. People can say stuff like, "Oh, I really like that video," but they're just saying it to be nice, sort of thing. And it's just, I really do get in my head with that. And it's also been why a lot of my past series, like Trailer Way Bay, for example, has been a couple of episodes. It's partly because I just wasn't enjoying it, maybe, but also because I feel this building pressure on me to think that to build good, to get more videos out, because people are like, "Where's the next Clearside Valley episode?" I'm like, I'm trying my best, but a lot of the time I don't have that creativity to build. I don't have that, and if I do,
motivation to make the next episode.
Exactly, yeah. And if I try to build, a lot of the time I'll either get burnt out because of it, because I'm just building because people want me to build and they want a new video. Joshua, where's the next video?
No, I 100% understand that.
Yeah,
you don't want to exactly. You don't want to burn out. That is something that you do not want to do.
I also feel like if my mind's not in it, what I make is a lot worse, and then it just goes out into a loop of I'm worried people are not going to think my building's as good. I'm not, keeping up. And then I'm like, okay, but people want new videos, so I'm going to go build something, even though I don't really want to. But then the building doesn't turn out as good because I'm not putting my heart into it. I'm not really spending the time that it needs on it. And then it just goes back into the loop of people don't think this is good, but I do need to get another video out. So that's they both really feed into each other in a really negative way, which is why with Clearside Valley, I'm just kind of building when I feel like it. I'll often have just a day or two where I'm really motivated. I really want to build stuff. I really feel like I really want to just build for hours and hours. And then there'll be 90% of the time I'll just not want to even touch Theme Park Tycoon 2, not record videos even. Never mind building Clearside Valley.
Touch some grass.
yeah. Guys, it's crazy, but
no way.
I do touch grass. I know it's
whoa! First Roblox player to touch grass.
But yeah, no, I don't know. It's a difficult thing. I constantly struggle with it, both also because the thing is with like lots of like video editing and even building, it doesn't come effortlessly. I mean, sometimes when I'm making a Clearside Valley episode, obviously I cut out when I build something that I don't like, or I cut out all the time when I'm just sitting around waiting. And then obviously you never really see the back end of me editing and stuff, other than like if it's on stream. So I feel like it could sometimes come across kind of effortless, like, oh, I just built a building, didn't even really put much thought into it, guys. Wowzers, there's a building. But obviously I put a lot of thought into it, because it doesn't come natural to me. And that obviously then means that I get a lot in my head, and then thinking like, oh, I'm not good enough to do this. And then there'll be some days where I just don't want to work, because I just don't feel like I am good enough to make these videos. In like that people have built up this impression of me of like, oh, he's really good at this, they're really good at that sort of thing. Even if they haven't, for some reason my brain hates me and goes, oh, these people have this built up impression of you, you need to do a good job. And then, you know, I then get in my head, go around in that circle for a while, and then eventually I'm fine. but it's just, yeah, it's like a very negative loop that I feel like a lot of creators probably also go through. I'm not the only person, I'm sure, but it does suck. That is the bad side of YouTube, definitely, is that.
Is the pressure,
especially
of trying to maintain or even try and top your best, you know? Try and do better and better and better.
Yes,
so
exactly.
It's easy to fall into that, but it's also it's hard to
like level up every time, like actually improve your stuff every time. Like
it's hard to actually you know, I'm not even gonna try and bubble. Let's just get to the next question. Well, great. We said a lot of negative. We said a lot of negative things. What would you say is your best thing that you've made in Clearside Valley?
So I actually really don't know. I think the best thing that I've probably made is the entrance, because I don't know.
That is
like
really
the entrance. Cool. It's but I don't even know if it's the best thing that I've built in the park. It's just that I'm really happy with it, because the thing that I always do with theme parks is that I, you know, like struggle to get one started. And I feel like the entrance, if I don't nail that right, I then, you know, I'm like, oh, okay, I'm not happy with this park. Let's move on to the next one.
The entrance is like the hardest part for me with the park. Did you struggle? Do you struggle with like entrances, or does it come natural?
No, definitely. I mean, like, you can spend so much time on an entrance without knowing even what you're doing as well. Like, with Clearside Valley, I pretty much yoinked the entire entrance off of an actual real theme park and just adapted it, because I struggle with obviously coming up with a whole entrance. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people could struggle when they just think like, oh, I need to come up with an entire building just off the top of my head real quick. Hold up, guys, let me just do that. And then especially with like the pressure of this needs to look good, otherwise the entire rest of the
We're
park
not architects. We're YouTubers.
Yeah. Exactly. And I do kind of envy Benny in that way, actually, because Benny has this real, just natural way of just coming up with designs.
I don't know how he does it. I don't know how he does it. He just cooks, and he's like, oh, I'm just gonna build this. I don't even know how I could like imagine that. And then he builds like the most insane thing ever. I just don't understand how he does that.
I have to spend like each Clearside Valley episode, like obviously I talk a lot about like 10 hours of 10 hours of recording, then these hours of editing, and then blah blah blah. But like what you don't see is that the like 20% of the effort of going to a Clearside Valley episode is researching, building like making a mood board of like different buildings in real life to kind of merge together. And like each building and each thing that I do has that, because I really struggle to like, I have a really crap memory, so I really struggle to like think, okay, this in real life I've seen, I like this, I like that. I have to like actually spend the time to go, okay, let me look at 9,000 photos of theme park entrances and narrow it down to like 10 and go like, okay, from there I can work from there. Something. It's that's something I've always very much struggled with from building, is actually getting the idea, the concept down.
That's a good thing though, to get the to use mood boards. I haven't actually thought of that.
yeah, exactly. It's just it helps a lot. I think it definitely helps a lot.
I can imagine. 100%. If someone else was trying to build like a, you know, maybe not a Clearside Valley park, but just something inspired by that, what tips would you give, like advice would you give for someone trying to do that sort of style of park?
So I'd say the main thing that you need to start out with when you're building a very realistic park is just just work out what you're trying to build and what your parameters are. I feel like coming up with an actual idea is the most important part, because if you just start building without thinking like, okay, this park is going to be like British, it's going to be like high budget, it's going to be low budget, like if you
a golden teacup.
Yeah, like if you don't think about like the kind of also like this entrance was built in this year, like in this decade, like that's the sort of thing that I thought about with Clearside Valley before starting, is that like this entrance is quite old, and then kind of like if you create a story around it, a lot of it will fall in naturally. And I think something that people get really really struggle on is coming up with ideas. Like I constantly get asked like, what coaster should I build? What should I name this?
I get
What theme should I do? Yeah,
100%. Yeah.
Yeah, and like it's like on a stream the other day, someone asked me like, what theme should I do for this? And I was like, I don't really know, because I struggle with coming up with themes. And then I spent like literally a minute or two just thinking like, how did I come up with the idea for the tornado themed coaster? And I really don't know.
That's such a sick theme. It's so cool.
But when you just have an idea and you kind of build up a story, a bit of a backstory, things just fall into place. And it's much easier then. So I'd say my most important like just tip with that sort of stuff, if you're building a very realistic park, is work out why it's realistic. Like what country is it built in, what year was it built in, what sort of budget and vibe are you going for. Are you going for like a Six Flags park where it's mostly coaster themes? Or are you going to go for something that is really well themed, more like Disneyland? You're going for something in between? Are you going for just that sort of thing? Because if you have an idea, a concept, and you start building a story around it, things will fall into place. You'll start to work out things quite quickly, I'd say.
That's all we can talk about Clearside Valley. Let's talk about. Well, you actually did a trip all around Europe. You actually did a trip around Europe with Benny, Timon, and you. What was the trip? What did you do?
To give a tiny bit of backstory, I guess, right here. Back in, I think, 2022, if I'm correct, or 2021, it's one of those.
Way back.
Timon came to the UK. Yeah. But I'll keep it short here. Basically, Timon came to the UK to go to like Alton Towers, Fort Park, and Blackpool. We literally went to 3 theme parks, nice. And then after that, we kind of were like, okay, I want to do something again, because that was quite fun, Like, me and Timon are both very passionate about theme parks, obviously, and stuff like that. So I obviously wanted to go to Europe, because Europe has some of the like most amazing parks, some of the most amazing coasters. Like my like top 5 theme parks and coasters are like 75% in Europe. So I was like, okay, I really want to go to Europe, and we basically plan to go to like cool theme parks like the Efteling, Europa Park, Phantasialand, some of like the major parks in Europe. And then it kind of just went from there, and then eventually we ended up going to like, I think like 10 parks or something like that.
Yeah, it was this massive trip. I remember like you announcing it on like your Discord server, saying if anybody's going on to these parks at these dates, we'll be there.
Yeah.
And there was just a massive list of about 20 different theme parks or something.
Exactly, and we didn't really originally plan to do that, but it's just kind of as you like planning, because Europa Park, Phantasialand, and the Efteling are very far away. Like the Efteling and Phantasialand are like a 5-6 hour drive, something like that. I think maybe less. I don't know. Don't quote me on that. But
did you get like a private jet there or something? What the freak?
Nah. Yeah. I don't have that. I don't have that British Airways money. Never mind private jet money. Bro, I flew in EasyJet. I flew EasyJet to Amsterdam Schiphol.
Oh my days.
Dutch people, rate that pronunciation. It was beautiful, wasn't it? But I can actually get a list here of the theme parks that I went to. I'm just loading it up right here. But basically, they're very far apart, so we just filled in the gaps to be like, okay, so I should go to this theme park. And basically what parks Time just recommended me here to go to. But so a list of the theme parks we went to here. Get ready, boys. So we start off at the Efteling, which the Efteling is my like 4th favorite park that I've been to. It is so beautiful. I still prefer Alton Towers, but the Efteling is definitely the most beautiful theme park I've ever been to. Oh my god, it's beautiful. Like, just the way that how upkept it is, how well everything's themed, just the vibe, the experience. It's so immersive. But the coasters kind of suck. And then we went to Wallaby Holland. Then we went to Toverland as well, which is a pretty cool park, but nothing too special. We went to Movie Park Germany.
No way, Benny's Movie Park. You went to Benny's Movie Park IRL. No way. You went to Benny's Movie Park. How was it? Did you see the Jurassic Park?
Bro.
Did you see the Back to the Future?
It was crazy. Guys, it's crazy. Benny's Movie Park IRL.
Oh, no way.
But that's kind of like the Universal of Europe, I guess,
Yeah.
is the closest thing. Then you've got Phantasialand, which is my second favorite theme park that I've ever been to. With like, that's my #1 roller coaster, my number 2 roller coaster, my number 3 roller coaster, and then Black Mamba's like top 10 as well. Amazing park. I can recommend it to anyone. And then I also did Trips Drill as well, which is some goofy German park, like just in the middle of like the mountains. Literally not a single person that spoke English. Yeah, it was such a weird theme park. They even have a log flume where the actual like boats are bathtubs, and then you go into the scene and there's just a bunch of naked girls.
What? Are you sure that was a theme park?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Fountain of youth.
I don't think you went to a theme park.
And there's just like a bunch of naked people bathing in this fountain of youth.
I don't think you went to a theme park.
It's crazy. It's such a weird park. But then obviously I did Europa Park, which is my favorite theme park I've ever been to. Beautiful park, Europa Park. It's massive. There's so much good stuff there. And then we did Wallaby Belgium, Plopsland, Disneyland Paris, which I hated.
Really?
Disneyland Paris, yeah, it's so overrated. It's so expensive. It's so overcrowded, and it's just it's not a vibe. But some good rides there. And then my favorite ride I've ever done is Ride to Happiness. It is so intense, but in the best way. Like, it's not like if obviously you haven't been on Smiler because.
I've been on Smiler.
Yeah, you've definitely been on Smiler.
100%. I smile.
Definitely, yeah.
No, I haven't.
Yeah. As people who have been on that, you'll know that it's quite an intense ride. And after like 2 or 3 rides, you can't really ride it again because you feel a bit like you feel a bit like ill almost. Not ill, but yeah, like no, you just like your head hurts a bit.
Oh, I can imagine about with the 20 billion inversions this or something.
Exactly, yeah. Whereas Ride to Happiness is like the perfect amount of intense, where it's more intense than Smiler, but in the better way, where you're not hurting after it. Like I rode it like 19 fucking trillion times in a row. I was still like, oh, let's ride it again. So yeah, but it was an incredible trip. Bro, I loved it. I can't wait to do it again, probably like next year or the year after. And also go to places like Spain as well. And it was obviously great, not only meeting Timon again, because obviously I'd already met him in the UK, but also Benny as well. Like that was the first time I'd actually met Benny in real life, obviously.
In Minecraft.
Yeah, it was such like it's such a great trip. I really enjoyed it. Like, and it also is then obviously founded kind of each year we do a trip like that. Like they came to the UK this year, went to a bunch of theme parks, which is also really fun as well. And yeah, and then from that as well, I'm also now friends with Timon and Benny in real life, which is just like a crazy thing to me. Like
that is crazy.
You know, like, can you? It's such a strange thing to imagine that like I'm now just friends with Timon and Benny, who are also these massive creators. Like obviously they're also people.
Yeah.
Not to make it just sound like, oh my god, they're just YouTubers, but like it's
fanboy.
Yeah, but like Benny, I've been watching for years. Like, obviously, someone who does Photoshop stuff. I was watching Benny. Like, what the hell, bro? Why am I just friends with Benny now? How's that happen? So crazy, but yeah, no, it was an amazing trip. I really can't wait to do it again. Like, or even just America or somewhere like that. I would love to do it again. Yeah.
That's so cool to hear. But you said a lot of positive stuff. Well, I can't speak. You said a lot of positive stuff. What was the worst moment of the entire trip? What was the absolute bottomest moment?
All right, so I can tell you the worst part of the trip. This is easy. Like, you know how most people are like, oh, but it was such a great trip. Oh, there was no bad parts. That was the worst part. I know it.
Okay.
So.
I'm ready for it.
When we were planning the Europe trip, we planned to go to a bunch of theme parks in Europe on a weekday. Little did we know, parks like what was it? Park Asterix, that was it. Wasn't open on weekdays. They were only open on like Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, not even Sunday. So they were only open
so
3 days a
weird.
week. But we didn't realize that because obviously, why would we know that some random foreign park from like
of
France?
course.
Yeah, like, and that's not normal in the UK. Parks are normally open every day of the week, even if they do have reduced opening times. So we booked the hotel, and Timon convinced me. So, like, because obviously I don't make a ton of money. We did stay in amazing hotels most of the time. We stayed in somewhere that was
No,
like,
wait, I thought you
nice.
I thought you have like 3 Lambos in your driveway. What the freak?
Oh yeah, exactly. God, I had to sell one of my Lambos for that trip, guys.
Oh, only down to 2.
No, only 2 Lambos now, guys.
Whoa, guys, oh my days.
Yeah, most times we were staying in places that were like a random Airbnb or like a 2-star, 3-star hotel, which, don't get me wrong, not to sound ungrateful, because they were still very nice, and I actually really enjoyed a lot of the places we stayed. But they weren't like the most amazing hotel rooms. Like, they weren't even Premier Inn level, like in the
really?
UK. They were just like random, like, one of the ones that we stayed in was just a random like snooker club. And then there was just some rooms attached to it, and we stayed there. It was such a weird place, but yeah, but then so Timon convinced me, like, hey, let's book a 5-star hotel to break it up a little bit, you know. We'll break it up. We'll book a 5-star hotel. And he was like, oh, I've been there before. It's amazing. He's been there before. He was like, oh, we need to do this, Josh. It's such an incredible hotel. So I was like, okay, fine. Seeing as we booked, you know, we've saved money on all the rest of the hotels. We'll book one 5-star hotel. Now, you may be able to see where this is going. The 5-star hotel we booked for going to Park Asterix on a Tuesday or something when Park Asterix was closed. So
no. Oh
so
my days.
Yeah, we had to reschedule the whole trip on like the last week.
What?
And then that
That's
obviously
rough.
included the
That
hotel.
is rough.
And because of like the way that the park's open, like we originally didn't even plan to go to Disneyland Paris, by the way. We planned to go to Park Asterix instead because they're both in Paris.
Yeah.
But we couldn't go to Park Asterix, so we had to really just reconfigure it all. And you know the worst thing was, the hotel, we contacted them, it was not refundable. They wouldn't help us.
What?
They wouldn't even rebook us to another night, which is insane. Like you're
That
in
is
a 5-star
terrible.
hotel. Like, what is that service? Are you
You
serious?
get
And
1
like,
star from the Kosii, Timon, and Benny.
yeah. Exactly. Like I would name and shame them, but I cannot remember the name of that. but the worst part is not even that. Like we spent a couple £100, like probably £500 on this hotel room for like 1 night or something like that.
Did you even stay there or?
No, this is the worst part. We couldn't stay there because we had to change days. So
oh my.
we spent all this money on a 5-star hotel, the nicest hotel of the trip, and we couldn't stay there. And you know the even worst part was, so we obviously had to book somewhere else. And because we'd already spent all this money on this other hotel, we wanted to do it really cheaply. So Timon found like the cheapest place he could, which is literally like, you know, like American motels. Like you imagine that, like European basically.
Okay.
It was not nice. It was, there was no like, there's not even a fan in the room. When we were there, it was like 30 degrees. Like there was literally people just like shouting at each other outside the room. It's like, you know, it wasn't
the best environment.
No, and the real icing on top that really made this into the worst part, fucking by far, was the fact that from this actual hotel room, we had a view of the 5-star hotel. We could see the hotel. We were, like,
no way.
You could see out the window.
They're just taunting you. They're just teasing you. You could have stayed here.
It's almost like it was like a mirage. Like you're like, oh, you could have stayed here, but you didn't.
Oh,
so,
that is like some like sitcom stuff right there.
it was actually like, yeah, it was genuinely like it was wrote. Like you can't even ride that. It was ridiculous.
That is mental.
Not only the fact that we lost all this money on this hotel room, but also the fact that you could see the hotel. But yeah, no, it was.
That is rough.
Painful. Yeah.
I've been kicked from the game!
Oh, no,
this is the only issue of doing it like this.
Oh no, oh god, guys. He's literally, I'm literally floating. Oh no.
Hold on, I'm coming back. I'm coming back.
Okay.
The only problem of doing it like this in the game is that you get kicked. Alright, let's get back on the seats. Let's go. Nothing happened.
Yeah, nothing happened.
Nothing happened.
Well, where were we?
Anyway, but you
that
said
was so real.
all the theme parks you went to, and you were, like I mentioned, you announced it on the Discord server. You let people know that
Yeah.
you were there. Did you actually get recognized at all at any of these theme parks?
So, yeah, actually, we a ridiculous amount of times. Now, I will say straight off the bat, I did not get recognized. I got recognized because I was with Benny Productions and fucking Time and 0808.
No way. Oh,
Like some people knew me. Like but
they just
but
come up to
obviously-
you and be like, "No way, that's Benny. Oh, can you hold the camera for us real quick?"
No, it was never that bad. But like, obviously, people didn't recognize me because it's like, but we did have pretty much, I think every single theme park we went to, except for maybe like one or two here or there. Either someone that we knew came up to us or we got recognized by someone. In fact, one of the funniest parts was that Benny got recognized by someone because of his main channel, because of Benny Productions. They were like,
really?
"Oh, it's Benny Productions." They had no idea that, obviously he has a second channel, because a lot of people from his main channel don't, because it's just a... But the fact that he just got recognized simply because of Benny Productions is so funny, like just a completely different thing.
That's really cool.
Although, one funny thing is that when they came to the UK, not recognized at a single theme park.
No way, really?
We went to like 7 or 8 theme parks, not a single person
That is
recognized
crazy.
either of them. Although technically, I got recognized. Technically, although I'm kind of friends with the person, so I don't.
I wouldn't. If you already know the person, I wouldn't say that's I mean, actually recognize. You recognize friends. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, they're like we were in the Smiler queue, and the person actually works at Alton Towers. Like as
This
one
is
of
your
the,
25th time today, you go see.
Yeah. But the ride broke down, and he was just walking through the queue to talk to people, and he was like, "Hang on a minute, I know you. You're famous," because he says that every fucking time he sees me for some reason. But I was like, no, I'm not famous. These two, however, and he was like, "I don't know who these two are." Like,
Oh,
crazy. So technically, I'm counting that as me being recognized.
I'll count that. I'll count that.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, a lot less compared to actually to the Europe trip for some reason. Don't know why.
That's
but yeah.
crazy. But when you were, a few weeks back at least, I don't know if this was during the Europe trip, probably not, because you were streaming from your house, you had Benny and Simon there, and I just want to say, I think this is on everybody's minds, PP Park. PP Park, when's it dropping? Come on, it's just us, dude, there's no one else listening.
PP Park.
No one else listening.
Guys,
When's
okay, I'll tell
PP
you a
Park
secret.
dropping? I need it.
I'll
I
tell you
need
a
it right
secret.
now. I need it. I need PP Park. I need it. I need it.
Not me
I
needs
need-
asking for Benny's
I need-
PP.
No!
Why do you want Benny's PP?
I
so
don't.
much?
I
What the
don't.
hell?
I don't want PP Park.
What?
No!
Okay. But I'll tell you a secret here. I'll tell you. This is a Notme exclusive. Okay, you ready? Okay. So PP Park.
I'm listening. We'll
We'll be starting on the. I have no idea. I don't.
What? I just got clickbaited. I'm disliking. Oh wait, I'm not. Wait, no. Subscribe. This is my own podcast. I'm subscribed, like stuff like that.
Like I actually really don't know because
Is
I've
it
been
actually
looking
happening
about
though?
it.
I thought it was a joke at first, but now you guys were actually
No.
like, it's actually happening. I'm just like, what?
So-
PP Park?
It is actually happening. We did some cooking on the trip, especially like at one of the main things, right, when we actually came up with the idea for PP Park and stuff like that, was actually in the Alton Towers Hotel. So basically, I have a bit of a tradition every time I go to the Alton Towers Hotel, which some of you may know what I'm talking about here. Some of you may have no idea, so I'll try to explain as best as possible. But basically, Alton Towers has a hotel, and it has this bar called the Dragon Bar, which is beautiful. It's an amazing bar, and it has so much stuff there, including like slushies as well. Like you can literally get like slushies with vodka and like whatever, like just alcohol in it. So every time I go, I have to get some sort of drink, and then like there's this pagoda that's by this lake. It has like a fountain and stuff, and it's really, really nice. So we just went to sit in this pagoda, and you just yap on for a while, just while having a drink sort of thing. And like you always just come up with the craziest, stupidest stuff because you've had a bit of alcohol and you're just like you're just yapping on. And we were just like, you know what, we should build a park. We should do because like we've been trying to think of what we should do for like a live stream sort of series.
Yeah.
We're like, you know what, we should build a theme park where you go through like time. Okay.
We're gonna say something else, then I was gonna be like, no, PP Park, you go through what? No.
You know, no.
No.
But I don't actually know if we've even really talked about what Paradise Peak is or PP Park.
Oh, thank God, it's
It's
Paradise
gonna be-
Peak. Oh my days.
It's Paradise Peak. It's not just called PP Park. That's just like, you know, the acronym for it. I
Yeah,
guess,
yeah, okay.
But,
Paradise. That's a cool name. That is actually a pretty cool name.
yeah. But the idea of the park is that basically some like wacky scientist has been trying to create a time machine to go back through time to a certain you know age. And then things go a little bit wrong, and instead of his time machine taking him to these times, you know, like back in the medieval times or prehistoric times, whatever.
Whoa. Isn't this just Benny's time quest? Hang on.
No,
I see
no,
what's
no, no,
happening.
no,
Isn't
no,
this
no,
just
no,
Benny's time
no, no,
quest?
no.
I see
No,
what's
no, no,
happening,
no.
Kosii.
No.
This is literally just Benny's time quest.
It's not just me. Okay,
Time traveling.
I've
I've heard it before.
No, because you're not time traveling actually, because the
Oh,
wacky scientist
well, I'm
is
leaving.
trying to time travel, but things go wrong and everything starts to go, you know, haywire a little bit. And then he accidentally, instead of taking him back to these times, he brings those times to this world. And then, you know, you
okay,
can
that's
have like a
kinda sick.
matchup of all these different ages kind of like glitching together, you know, with like different lands and all these different like ages through time, these different themes, like I said, like prehistoric and stuff like that, that are all going to be surrounding this big mountain sort of thing, which is why it's called Paradise Peak.
Okay, I can imagine it now.
Paradise
That's actually a sick idea.
Exactly.
That is really cool.
We're gonna actually have we're gonna have a dark ride inside of the mountain that kind of explains the
nice.
story. And then the idea is, like, just to give you a little bit of an idea of what we've got planned, is that you'll be going through this dark ride that kind of like shows you a little bit, explores like what this guy's trying to do and stuff like that. And then everything's gonna go wrong. The machine's gonna start to, like, you know, warning signs are going off, steam's going everywhere. And then exactly. And then the room's gonna go dark, and then the trains are gonna turn around. And it's just gonna open up to like the park, and you're just gonna see like all of these different lines. You're gonna go around them and like just
that
like
is so
see,
cool.
like, oh no, everything's gone wrong. Everything's come to this world. Oh no, you know, sort of thing.
Oh,
so
wow.
it's such a cool idea. That like I said, we literally were just like sat at the Old Towers Hotel just yapping on. And like I said, you have some of the craziest but coolest ideas, like is what I found when you just like just chilling and you just
When you're yapping at Alton Towers.
yeah, exactly. We're just having a real yap session, but I think Paradise Peak, Paradise. Why don't I keep on saying Paradox Peak? I think is going to be really cool. I'm really looking forward to it, but honestly, it just kind of depends on Benny. Like, the best person to ask for like when it's going to happen, stuff like that, is Benny, because
I'll make sure to remember remind
yeah,
to remember.
Make sure to bug Benny. Go, Benny.
Benny, when PP Park, I need it. I'll try and remind myself of that. I will just try.
But it'll literally just happen like probably when Benny's got stuff ready. He needs to make like logos and video assets for it and all that sort of stuff. But when it does happen, it'll probably be on Benny's channel, maybe on my channel. So subscribe to me. Unsubscribe.
Yeah,
to
definitely go
Notme.
check out Kosii, link in the description.
And while you're at it, unsubscribe from this channel.
Whoa, that's too far, too far. All right, well, let's go on to back onto Theme Park Tycoon 2. Actually, there's one coaster. You might know what I'm talking about already.
Oh no.
One coaster, all right, and I just want to get your thoughts on it. One coaster, just one. The face turbine. The face turbine. What are your thoughts on it? Come on, be real. It's just us two. Come on. It's the best coaster in the game. We all know that. So yeah, there's no no harm in just, you know, saying it's the best coaster.
The thing is, I actually personally think that it might just be, you know, it's a bit of an unpopular opinion, but I think it might just be the worst thing to ever be made by any theme park game ever.
No.
What the hell?
No. I disagree. I disagree.
Do you even know about why the face turbine got added?
No, I would like to know actually.
I'm gonna give you the face turbine lore real quick. Yeah, I might get some.
I actually don't know this. I would. Okay. The face turbine lore. Matt tied it up.
Yeah, it's my game theory, guys. But basically, when Dennis wasn't so boring, we used to have like quests and events happening in Box Tycoon every so often. Yep.
Okay, bring this back, Dennis. We need this.
Yeah, definitely. Like, it'd be so cool to see these more, but
basically
there was an event that was in collaboration with Roblox, I think a bunch of other games also had it. I can't remember exactly what the event was called or the theme or stuff like that, but basically you had to complete this quest and do some stuff, and your reward for that was the phase turbine. And I think it was something like your imagination, like this sort of event was about like creating.
Was it maybe like an egg hunt or something?
No, it wasn't egg hunt. It was like a really small event that probably no one even remembers.
I don't think I remember.
It wasn't even like as big as like an egg hunt or that sort of stuff.
Really?
But it was something to do with like creativity and coming up with like wacky things. So Dennis, the whole idea of the phase turbine coaster is that it is like a wacky, stupid thing.
But that's what makes it so good. It's got a propeller on the back and it like particles at the back, and it's cool.
Yeah,
it's got lights as well, and it's cool. Come on,
it's
cool.
It's so cool, guys. I mean, to be fair,
it is.
With the backstory, it's actually quite a cool ride with the backstory, but it also gives you a bit of an idea of why it's so stupid. Because it's not even like.
I'll not be taking this. I'll not be taking this on a Notme Hour podcast. Nuh-uh. You are now banned. Oh.
Dennis didn't even add it because he was like, okay, this is the next coaster I want to build. He added it because it was for an event to build something that was stupid and like imaginary and dumb. Like that's literally the whole story.
Wow.
I know it's crazy,
but
I genuinely think there's probably worse coasters in Theme Park Tycoon 2, but the rust texture is so stupid. No, actually, the steeplechase. Well, the thing is, the steeplechase...
No, you can't be saying the steeplechase is better than the phase turbine. No,
it's much better.
No,
it's much better.
That's not. I mean, that's just not true.
You know what's crazy as well? There's only one steeplechase coaster still open in the world, so it's weird that Dennis added that ride.
That's an actual thing.
Steeplechase. Yes, yeah. It's an actual thing. They used to be very, very popular. There used to be a lot of them by a manufacturer called Arrow, who's now gone out of business like decades ago. But they used to build a lot of them. The only one that's still existing is actually at Blackpool Pleasure Beach, and it's called it's literally just called Steeplechase. Like that's the name of the ride, Steeplechase. Very imaginative.
Yeah.
But we actually went on it, obviously, because we went to Blackpool Pleasure Beach, me, Benny, and Timon. It is such a terrible ride. Like the I can imagine. You know how like I was talking about heartlining, yeah? That has none of it. Arrow didn't get heartlining. They didn't really understand that because this is before they really had computers. It was like, you know, they just sketched on a piece of paper. So the track literally goes like straight and then just goes boom. And then because you're in like, imagine you actually sat in one of those horses, like I know people like Tycoon 2. You don't have any restraints to hold you down. So your body just goes boom.
You're just kind of cooked.
Into like you just bash into like the metal bar that's basically not padded, and you get off the ride just needing a new hip.
Yeah, I can imagine. That's rough. That is rough. That is rough. So talking about Theme Park Tycoon 2, a few months ago, I think like 5 months ago now, the Dennis dropped this insane update where you can have like blueprints, other people's builds in your park, which I absolutely love. You've made some really insane blueprints. You've actually gone ahead and made like a Steam workshop equivalent to the Theme Park Tycoon 2.
Yeah.
Where people can upload blueprints to it and just... It's like a whole catalog of blueprints, which is insane. How did you come up with the idea to make a workshop?
No, it's actually like I don't really know because I think when we had the blueprint update, I didn't immediately really think of it, which is weird. Basically, if I remember rightly, I was like trying to get to sleep one night. And I was kind of like laying awake. I was like, I had a lot going through my head, like what I'm gonna do, you know, sort of thing, because the blueprint update had just been like released or like announced, sorry, like a couple days before or something like that.
Right.
And I was kind of like thinking, like what could I do, sort of thing. Like I often do that when I'm going to sleep. I'm like, what videos am I gonna do? What am I doing next? You know,
I am the exact same. It's funny because I think I'm my most productive when I'm trying to go to sleep.
yeah, exactly, yeah. But I literally just thought, like, I had this like eureka moment where I was like, wait, but like, I should build a workshop, right? I should build a workshop. That'd be really cool. And I was kind of like, at the time, the update hadn't come out yet. I don't think so. I might be getting this like a bit muddled up, but maybe this was after the update dropped. Maybe it was before. I can't remember. But I basically like started having a look into it. I literally like you said, was most productive when I was trying to get to sleep. I literally like jumped out of my bed. I was like, okay, I'm gonna go like give this a try, see how feasible this is. And I basically just loaded up Wix, which I've used quite a lot in the past. I have like quite a lot of experience with Wix. I've made websites before on there for other people. I was basically just like, okay, how possible would this be? And just kind of getting the fundamentals down, like how would the actual blueprints work? Obviously they are working through like the blog system. So actually the way that the Female Tiny Workshop works is it's through Wix. Through their Wix blogs feature, which is obviously more for writing blogs and actual like stories and stuff like that. But it works, so you know.
Yeah, it's absolutely amazing. I love the workshop.
Yeah,
it's just fantastic.
And it was just basically a lot of work, and also just getting. I think the thing is with it, I didn't want to lose motivation to do it because I was like, okay, this is going to cost a lot of money, it's going to take a lot of work, and I was very like worried about like the actual consequences of starting something like the Female Tiny Workshop, which I've been feeling now for the last 5 months, but but like I just wanted to get a website down that worked well enough, wasn't the most beautiful, but worked. And obviously then I released it. It was a bit of a ham-fisted release because I was literally like out with my friend Max. We were at the cinema. I was like, okay, this is probably like only about an hour long, this film. The film was like 2 hours long, so I was late back to my stream. And I couldn't reschedule the stream for some reason. It wouldn't let me. And like,
well, you're trying to do it on your phone. I don't know why, but you just can't on your phone. I don't get it.
Yeah,
you can't do it on your phone.
It's so dumb.
I know.
So I was like literally sat outside my friend's house, like with their laptop. They brought their laptop out. With like, for some reason, their trackpad just didn't work. Like you clicked it,
fantastic.
And every like 5 clicks worked. So it was like. This was like a minute or two before the stream was supposed to start, and I was like half an hour away from my house still, and it's just it was such a stressful start. But I think I mean honestly, I'm so happy with how it turned out. And even though it's taken a lot of work, like I'd say probably since that came out, a quarter of my work has just been the Female Tiny Workshop. You know, like actually. A lot of work goes into not only the stuff that you see with... Oh, I've just disconnected.
Oh, not again. Not again.
Oh my god.
Should
I just keep on yapping while I rejoin the game right here?
Yeah. It's fine. I'll just be looking at an empty couch.
Yeah. So... it's not only a lot of work with like the actual stuff that you see with blueprints. Like obviously people, it's very easy for them to see like, okay, I did all this work on making the blueprints and all that sort of stuff. But it's also the fact that on top of that, I've got to maintain the website. I've got to develop new pages. I've got to actually write stuff like the tutorials, the blogs, all those like the wiki and stuff like that we've now got. Developing new features like there's loads of stuff like that which just you don't really see because obviously a lot of it's behind the camera. You don't really see that sort of stuff. Oh my god! Hey, woo!
You're back! You're back! Oh, you're back! Hey!
But yeah, it takes a long time, and even with the blueprints, like we've made it to the point now where it's actually quite efficient. But between me, Will, and Harry and Timon all working on it, we probably could only get we could probably only do like 100 blueprints a day realistically, because it takes a lot of time to go through literally hundreds of submissions we get each week. Out of those, let's say 100 submissions, probably 5 of those will actually get approved, because a lot of them are just either repeats of the same submission, or the things that are literally like the worst build you've ever seen in Theme Park Tycoon 2.
I can imagine you probably get like a whole bunch of just junk submitted to the workshop.
Exactly. Like I obviously, you know, I don't want to be mean, but there's a lot of really bad builders in Theme Park Tycoon 2.
Oh, cancel him.
I know, but it's like there's a lot of things that a lot of people that think like, oh, that made that sick, I'll add that to Theme Park Tycoon 2 Workshop, that'll definitely get added. And it just not in a million years. It's like built in basic editor with no game passes, and it's like
it goes upside down for about the entire coaster.
Yeah, the entire coaster's chain lift, like, you know.
Oh no, the most spaghetti park coaster ever.
Yeah. So first of all, we have to look through literally hundreds of submissions.
Oh yeah,
A lot of those submissions that aren't even good won't load in game because people just don't actually public them for some reason. They don't set them to public, or there's an error, so that narrows it down even more. So from about 100 blueprints, which takes like an hour to look through all those blueprints, maybe even more sometimes. We only pick like 5 blueprints out of those, and then from there, I've got to load every single blueprint into the game. Well, well, actually, before that even, those 5 blueprints that do get added have to be loaded into the game so that we can get what game passes need to be used for it, how much it costs, the creator's name on Roblox, make sure it actually works in game, all that sort of stuff, like any other notes that we need to make, any other information, and then from there, that all gets added to a big spreadsheet. From that spreadsheet, I take the stuff, I load them into the game, I take photos, which for each blueprint can take about like 2 or 3, maybe up to 5 minutes if it's quite a big blueprint with a lot of stuff. And then I have to edit every single one of those, which...
That is a big process line right there. That is a lot.
We're not even done yet as well, because
I
have to put all of those photos into Photoshop. I have to resize them to make sure the sizes are right, they're centered right, all that sort of stuff. The scaling's all right. And then the way that I used to do it is I have to save every single one individually, one at a time, which each one would take like 30 seconds. Luckily, I figured out a way to basically export like all the images at once, put them into Lightroom, watermark them really easy, so that we've got the TPT2 workshop logo. Of course. And then I'd say for each blueprint, it takes probably like 5 to 10 minutes just to do the photos for them. And then on top of that, for some things, I'll do a video, which that video will take like half an hour per blueprint if I'm doing a video. And then after all of that, Timon has to get all that information and write the post on it, which takes quite a while as well, because he has to actually make sure everything's correct, everything's in. He has to put all the images in. If there's a video, attach that. And then schedule it, all that sort of stuff. Like, I would say per blueprint, it could take anywhere between like about 20 minutes to an hour. In fact, actually, if you're including a video, if it's 20 minutes to an hour per blueprint, if no video, and it could be anywhere between 20 minutes to like an hour and a half if there's also a video as well. Like,
oh my.
That is how much time it takes. People obviously,
like, if I had to guess, I would not have expected that. If I had to guess, I would not have expected that. That is freaking insane.
And a lot of people are like, where are the blueprints? Why is there not blueprints for like 4 days?
You get asked that so many times. When's the next blueprint? Come on, come on.
You see why now, right? Like, there's obviously like a lot of reasoning behind it, because it just takes so much time. Like I would love to automate it in some way, but you know the problem with automating it is that issues will happen then. I mean, issues still happen when they're manually approved, because if we get a blueprint ready and it's all wrote and stuff like that, and then we schedule it for like 3 weeks in 3 weeks time, but in those 3 weeks the blueprint can have a problem. You know, there could be an internal problem with Feedback Time 2 that I have to reach out to DNS for, or there can be that the person will take it off public because they think it has been accepted onto the workshop or something like that, and then it will just not work, and then we've got to sort that out. So on top of all the time of getting that blueprint,
it's just insane.
We then have to go on, and then we have to test that blueprint again, and like do support and stuff like that. And then we also have to moderate comments now as well, because we've got comments and ratings.
Bro, is like insane. I don't even know what purpose the comments even serve.
Well, they originally weren't even in the workshop. But the reason why we added them is because with comments you can add ratings as well, and with Wix both kind of come together. And I just quite like the idea of it's a community run. Well, it's not community run, I guess, but it is also very community run. Like, it's the whole thing is people make the blueprints. You know, everything on the workshop is made by the community, and it's for the community. It's a free resource that put so much work into, and time does, and so does Harry and Will, but it's worth it for the community. So it makes sense that the community gets to choose like what blueprints are good, and if someone makes a blueprint that has a problem with it, then
I've got to say there's so many people who just give 1-star ratings because this blueprint doesn't load.
I know, exactly.
There's a lot of people who don't understand and just give them one stars. And then there's also, I mean, you can't avoid this online, but there's also just a lot of just insanely just rude.
A lot of racist stuff, especially. Yeah. Like, I've spoken to Wix about this because they, for some reason that I cannot fathom, do not have any moderation for comment.
I was gonna ask, is there like no way to automatically like have like filters or something?
No, and it's crazy
What?
because there'll be some people that literally have the N word in their name and in the comment. Now,
Oh my
Wix,
days.
let's use some common sense. If someone's name is the N word and they comment using like 15 slurs in one comment,
Absolutely
probably shouldn't be on the
disgusting.
website.
Ban
Yeah,
'em.
exactly. And it's a lot of like moderation as well. But every like couple of weeks, I'll go through, just look at every single blueprint, see what if they've got like a low rating. And obviously, like the comment system can be a really bad thing in that way, but it's also a really great resource because we no longer offer actual support through emails. We used to have it's like you could email us,
Oh,
we'd
really?
email you back with help. But obviously that takes a lot of time.
Yeah.
On top of everything else. A lot of it as well was just like, this isn't loading. And it's like, okay, yeah, it's because you're not using the legacy coaster, that sort of stuff. But the good thing with comments is that now people can just, like, they could just put it on a comment. If it doesn't work, and a lot of people are saying it doesn't work, then it probably doesn't work. And then we can actually check it to make sure.
Right.
Rather than having to go through a bunch of support emails. It's a lot better of a community resource. And it means people can help each other out. They can reply to a comment and say, like, okay, are you using this coaster? Or are you using the actual main one? Like, are you actually using the legacy one? Do you have the game passes?
Right.
And the community can offer support. And that obviously also links in with the forums as well, which will also have some problems every so often. Although it does have some moderation. But and people can help each other out. It removes the burden from us as much. It just means like even if we do have to moderate stuff, it's less than having to reply to like 9 million people asking like, why is this blueprint not working? Like, it's a bit of a win and a loss, you know. It's not a complete win, but it's better. I'd say it's better.
What are some of your plans for the workshop in the future? I know some behind the scenes like you know, private stuff that I can't share, but what are some of your plans that you can share? Like some stuff that you plan to do. Maybe you want to like change this or add that. Something that you wanna do to the workshop.
So I'd say at the moment the workshop, like basically, if you don't know, like a lot of people maybe don't know this. Like if they only started using the Female Time 2 Workshop in the last couple of months, but the Female Time 2 Workshop actually looks completely different to how it did when it released.
Yeah.
And like I said, it was originally like just making it work rather than look good. Like I obviously put in effort into making it look good because it's me. I have to do that because my brain is broken and I'm like, oh, I've got to spend 9 hours making this look good. But like, it wasn't really, that wasn't something that I was more bothered about. Whereas now the workshop, I'd say I'm really happy with how it looks. Like, it's got a really good design language. It's definitely, there's some things that could be improved but I think the workshop is in a place where I'm really happy with how it actually looks now. Like, I think it looks pretty good.
It looks fantastic.
Thank you. But there's still more things that I want to add. Like, again, since the release, the other things that we had were blueprints. You didn't even have ratings then.
No, yeah.
And then we had the guides tab, but we didn't have the actual forums at all. You didn't have comments. You didn't have ratings. We didn't actually have like the creator spotlight either. None of that sort of stuff. It was very bare bones compared to what it is now. But there's a bunch of stuff that I still do want to add. Like there's a bunch of things that I think would still be cool to have, but it's just stuff like I actually did a poll on the workshop.
Wait, you do polls on the workshop?
I did, yes, in the forum.
That's cool.
There's yeah. So some of the things here I'll just like kind of talk about that I kind of want to do. Maybe not all of these have got done, but it'd be nice. The main one, which people also seem to like a lot, is Workshop Pro. Because basically, the female
yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, it's all supported through ads, but it still takes a lot of work to go into it.
Yeah.
And I would also like to point out that I take none of the money from the Female Time 2 Workshop. Pretty much all the money that gets earned from ads either gets given to Timon, Will, and Harry to pay them to help.
Yeah.
Even if it is a very small amount, like don't get me wrong, it's like £5 a month that they get, or like £10 a month. It's just not much. Ads don't earn that much, guys. But
no.
But I don't take anything. But basically, the Workshop Pro will give you stuff like premium blueprints, which I'll explain in a second, because a lot of people hear that and they're like, "Oh, you're gonna make free blueprints? Paid
no way!
Paid to get blueprints." But I'll explain that in just a second. And then there's stuff like faster approval speed, so that you have to wait up to 50 days just to get a blueprint approved.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. And
it's
then
sort of
there's
like having
also
a membership on YouTube.
Yeah,
getting all the
exactly.
perks.
Yeah, I'll talk about Workshop Pro in a second, but I'm just going to go through some of the other stuff. Like, there's also Theme Park Tycoon tools. So there's this really cool guy called, let me actually get this right. I think it's Caladex? Is that Cabalex? That's it, Cabalex, not Caladex. Who made this website called Theme Park Tycoon 2 Tools, where you can split decals into like, you can upload an image and it will split it into like 4 different images, so you can put it across 4 different decals.
Oh, nice.
I reached out to them, being like, hey, would you like to implement this into the Theme Park Tycoon Workshop? And they were like, yeah, sure. It looks really cool what you've done.
Okay.
I'd be down to help. So
That would be sick
like
if that happens.
Definitely, and like if I obviously it depends on this person because they're actually a coder. They know what they're doing compared to me. I just use Wix, guys. I don't really know much about coding. But stuff like in the future of like a name generator or like a color like resource where you can find colors that work together.
That'd be cool.
Exactly, yeah. Like stuff like that, or like images as well, like decals, a decal library, or like just where you can find like textures in colors that work well together and stuff like that. Just tools that'll help you build.
That'd be so helpful.
Yeah, it'd be so cool. Like maybe one day, but that's a lot of stuff that'll probably be rolled out over like years, not you know. But very final thing is just like a merch store for like YouTubers to actually upload merch, which I've obviously spoken to you about and other YouTubers, and gotten some of you guys on board and making some like actual like a hub for YouTube merch as well.
I can't lie, that sounds like a really cool idea. It's so cool.
It'd be so nice because obviously you can make merch easily through like having like
Shopify
like
or
Teespring,
yeah.
Shopify, that sort of stuff. Yeah, but it's a lot of work. You have to pay up front to like host a website if you want to make it actually nice looking and custom, and a lot of the print quality is not very good. Like it'll be a really bad t-shirt that was made for like literally less than a single £1.
It'll be a really rough t-shirt of just like a printed on logo.
Yeah,
it'd be crippling off, like you'd have pieces just of it hanging off. Ugh.
Exactly. And as someone who is very into fashion myself, that is painful. I always buy like really nice stuff because I don't know, I just my friend's very into fashion. He's literally a fashion TikToker, and I never used to be bothered about fashion either. And I've really gotten into it then since, because he's like really gotten me into that sort of stuff. And then seeing like some of the YouTuber merch that gets made, where it's like the cheapest, horrible thing, and it's like they literally just slapped their logo on there with no thought. Like it's like, what is this? Why? Why would anyone like? It's a really great way to support people merch, but like you end up with something that is really poor quality, looks terrible, has no thought put into it, and it's like, why did I just spend like £50 on a t-shirt then?
I know. If I ever did merch, I would really want it to be the most comfortable thing ever. It would actually look nice. It'd just be something I would actually wear, you know?
Yeah. Exactly, yeah. Something that, like, that's the most important thing for me, is something that you can wear. Not like just YouTuber merch that hangs up in the wardrobe and you're like, oh, I'm not really gonna...
Oh, it's time to record a YouTube video. Better put on my merch.
Like as much as, you know, like there's some really nice YouTuber merch. Like even Matt Matrix and Maliboomer have made merch. I would never walk outside with Matt Matrix merch where it's literally just his logo, like.
I think you just need to, like, you know, I don't think I would ever do that full stop. You know what I'm saying?
It's too conspicuous. You like my most important thing with merch is making something that's merch for a YouTuber, but also that can be enjoyed and can just look nice without having the link of this is a YouTuber merch. You know, just
I get
looks
it,
good sort of thing. But maybe in the future, I really like I say, I'm really like passionate about fashion and that sort of stuff, and actually making good clothes. So I definitely want to do that. It's just that there's a lot of work that goes into it. But at one point, one day.
I can imagine, bro. I can imagine.
Yeah. That's pretty much everything that I want to do with the Theme Park Tycoon 2 workshop. I will very quickly, because I know this recording's already very long.
This is a really long recording. I did say before we recorded this, let's hope we get this over an hour, because all the previous, I mean, no, there has not been any previous episodes, but you know, this hasn't gone over an hour in the past. This might be a 2 hour. I've got the thing is, I've got so many more things I want to ask you. So we might have to actually cut this up into like 2 parts. Do you want to do that?
I need to stop yapping.
Do you want to do that?
I'm happy to. Yeah. I can do that.
Do you want to do that? All right, let's end it here, guys. So next week, tune back next week. Well, yeah, tune back next week. Tune back next week, Friday, 3 p.m. Have a good one, guys. Check out Kosii, link in the description. Part 2, Friday, 3 p.m. BST. Go check it out.
See you there, guys.
See ya!
See you there. Woo!
All right, if you need another pee, just take one, all right?